can prime draw the great Unclean one. When I checked out this guy, I was pretty impressed with how absolutely disgusting he was. There isn't just one. There are many pretty disgusting creatures like him. You can see here I've put a sketch down, and I wanted to, rather than just have my character float on the floor or in the air or just in space, I wanted to make him actually be standing on something, much like the miniatures are. I do enjoy painting miniatures. Don't necessarily have much time for it nowadays, but quite relaxing. You can see here I've blocked in his head. That's where the main action is. That's where the fun is. The rest of it's all just space savers. All just bits put down so that I know roughly where an arm's going, roughly where his chest is, all of that kind of jazz. You can see I'm trying to define him silhouette down the right hand side. His arm was a bit small, so made it a bit bigger. There isn't really much can be said about this drawing other than it's just gross. Fold upon fold of fat, layer upon layer of blubber and meat, all squashed up against each other, all sweaty and grimy. Just imagine the stench. This guy clearly doesn't bathe. You should always have a wash, people. Even if it's just once a month. You can see there I've put his tongue down. Wanted to make him look pretty sinister. And again, just working up the right hand side. The typical top-down lighting, so should draw the eye towards the face. See, I'm putting his teeth in. Damn, I love teeth. And then populating his gut slit with, you know, his innards, blood, bones, general decomposition. Yeah, I'm working on that base again. Didn't just want him to have him floating, as I said. And I'm working on the sword up at the top there. I don't really know much about this character, but from what I did read, I was pretty impressed with how disgusting he was, so just felt like I'd have to see if I could draw him. What came to mind when I read about him. I do urge you to go and read some of the lore about the characters of this fantastic world that they've created. It's pretty engrossing stuff. The right side's been defined roughly. I know where the sides of his blubbery body is. Left side a little bit more defined than it once was. There we go, get rid of that big tongue. Way too overpowering. You can see here, I'm going to change the arm. Just lose the sword altogether, it doesn't need to be there. To be honest with you, I think he looks a bit more menacing without the weapon. But some people might think different, and that's cool too. Got rid of those giant weird ears that I'd originally drawn. Just put one sort of grim ear. And on the other side we'll get that same treatment. You saw briefly there I was toying with the backgrounds, making it fully completely white. That's just to test the values, to see whether or not the darks are dark enough and the lights are light enough. I've got a plan in mind whilst working in these grey scales to add colour, but I just want to see whether or not I can get the value painting to work properly first. His head's way too big, so I'll shorten that. Give him some more chins. Everybody loves a bit of chin, don't they? Very nice. Really sell that fat, grotesque feeling. Now we're adding the pus, plagues, the vomit, the rot, the boils. All the horrible infections that have built up inside his folds and wrinkles. And there I was just giving a quick overtone, working on all the skin, just giving it some texture. You don't want it to look too smooth. You know, this guy's disgusting. Nothing to stop his skin rubbing on all of the surfaces that he just slides and romps through. I'm going to push the values a little further here, darken down under the arms. You know, work on where it doesn't look right. A big gash in his head there. Drop some of that pus down onto his eyelid. Then work in that slit of the belly. Try and lighten the shoulders a little. Just redefining silhouettes within silhouettes. You can see that his stomach is clearly in front of his hips. His arms clearly hang over his hips. His shoulders are hunched forward. That's the basic undertones done. Moving into colour now, I'm going to give him a quick sweep of green because nothing sells rot better than green. And then I rush a little bit here. Went for a full skin tone but didn't really like it. Worked all the way back. Trying to work out lighting before I go into the actual object colours. Double check the values before I commit. Everything looks okay. So I put a hot side and a cool side. See the hot side, left side of him, right side on screen. Just changing the overlays, making it all blend together nicely. You can see I've gone for a contrasting colour with the boils, bright yellows, really make them stand out, really sell that horrible putrid feeling. Those two little characters down there in the bottom left, they've got no idea what's about to happen. Two little dudes. And yeah, I'm just pushing the warm colours up the right hand side there. I think I'm gonna make those boils stand out a little bit further there. Draw the eyes in. And a little bit more flesh tone here and there. And again, redefining those silhouettes with lighting. Yeah. Darken down, make sure everything looks okay. Here's some progress shots, some close-ups, just photos of the screen rather than actual digital presentation. Anyway, enough of that. Here he is. It's the final piece. I tried to make it look as much like a mini as I possibly could. I probably could have worked on this for hours, but you know, I had to make a video. Anyway, let me know what you think, and if you fancy, stick around. I've got some bonus content. I have to hit like first though. Oh wait. Okay, so this guy, much faster, much quicker, much more freedom, because he doesn't exist. This is just something off the top of my head. Honestly had no idea what I wanted to draw. I was pretty pleased with the way it came out. Much the same process, you know, plane upon plane, making sure that anything in front of something else casts a shadow, and then a hot side and a cold side just to sell it for three-dimensional shape. So there, I think he's some kind of vampire with levitation and frost. Anyway, bit of fun, wasn't it? Thanks for watching. Hit like if you want to, leave a comment if you can. Why not check my spelling errors, because there's plenty. Consider subscribing if you don't already. And as always, be excellent to each other, everybody. Peace.